When you're headed into a divorce, you need a financial game plan. It takes a moment to figure out what your budget is going to look like once you're living separately. Take a moment and do some research. Look around at what rent is going to cost you, what it's going to cost you to get insurance on your own, have your own Netflix account, your own cell phone account, and do the math. It really pays to do some of this work before you head into a divorce, if you have an opportunity to do so, and to come up with a financial game plan. Also, is really helpful to talk to an experienced family law attorney and a financial planner to do an estimate of what you are going to need in terms of asset and debt allocation when it comes to the final settlement terms of your divorce. If you know what goal you need, it's so much easier and less stressful when you negotiate the terms with your ex to be when you're going through a divorce. If you are going through a divorce, it is great and really helpful to you if you can get documents lined up ahead of time. So the documents that we need to see to help your attorney help you are things like your bank statements, your credit card statements, all of your retirement and investment and savings account statements are going to need to be provided to your attorney, and ultimately they're going to need to be exchanged with your spouse and your spouse's attorney. And if we get those documents ahead of time, we can talk about what the game plan is going to be for your financial settlement options. And when we have those documents well in advance, we can organize them and make sure that no stone goes unturned. When it comes to your parenting arrangements, it is really helpful to have a typical calendar of what your children's schedule looks like, along with your work schedule, your spouse's work schedule, so we can factor those things into what makes sense in terms of your children's parenting arrangements, what time they're going to spend with each parent, where exchanges should happen, how we're going to handle transportation, how we're going to handle summer break, figuring out day camps, and when holidays are going to be celebrated with both sides of the family. When it comes to choosing a lawyer, it's really important that you feel a good connection. Now, that doesn't mean that the lawyer tells you everything you want to hear and tells you you're going to win everything that you want. It's important that you feel that you can be honest with your lawyer, because if you're not honest with your lawyer, it's not going to work out very well. They're going to be surprised and caught off guard, and they're not going to be able to help you to the best of their ability. You need to feel that your lawyer is in your corner, but also going to be objective and give you feedback, sometimes critical feedback when you're feeling emotional. It's important that you work with a family law attorney who has experience, who has a team. Working with a solo practitioner has some upsides, but there are a lot of downsides. It means when they go on vacation, you may not have access to an attorney when things are urgent. And if you work with an attorney that's part of a team and they communicate well up front about who's going to do what by when, and they have a game plan for you of who's going to be covering if they're going to be in trial or taking a vacation, you're going to be best served. It is best to take time preparing for your divorce rather than rushing through whenever you have the opportunity to do so. When you make decisions with time and space, they're more likely going to be decisions that you feel good about over the long run and can really live with. When you rush, you're more likely to make emotional decisions that feel good in the moment, but don't really serve your best interests in the big picture. I often recommend that our clients take a moment to map out where they want to be 5 years from now. What do they want their life to look like? And then we can work backwards and come up with an action plan to help them reach their goals. If you have any questions on how to prepare for divorce, give us a call.